After King Harris actually arrived at 50 Cent's home, security cameras captured what transpired. 50 Cent and the Harris family were already at odds, and this unexpected visit only made things worse. In this video, we can be seen showcasing the shocking footage that captured every moment of the fight and has the internet in a frenzy. To understand how King Harris got into a full-fledged battle with one of the most notorious trolls in hip-hop history, we need to go back to where we came from. This started. And it started on a podcast of all places. In a podcast interview, T.I. accused 50 Cent of backing out of a fight with Verzuz that they had both agreed to. He claimed that, as a result, he lost respect for the Gunnet boss. T.I. went into great depth about the game, which was valued at millions of dollars on the platform. T.I. claims that this was not a spontaneous call-out. He clarified that they were traveling over Los Angeles selling gigs together, that they had talked about celebrating each other's catalogs, and that he didn't just phone 50 without warning. T explained the terms of the agreement. He said that T.I. was supposed to make the public announcement and that both of them approved of the matchup. According to T, 50 was confused when he brought it up in public. That's the reason T away. He informed the show that it was a matter of character at that point. Things were like, forget all of it, T said, raising doubts about 50's character by saying, just claim you don't desire to achieve it. 50 Cent and T.I. have a lengthy history together. The beat began in 2006, when both rappers were at the pinnacle of their careers. Although it never really took off, there were signs since 50 was the star of Gunnet and T was the self-proclaimed king of the South. Their animosity began to manifest as competitive sneak peeks. Therefore, this Verzuz scenario wasn't a brand new conflict. The feud had been simmering for nearly 2 decades, but the Verzuz allegation gave it a new lease on life. Moreover, 50 Cent, who is 50C, did not respond with words of reconciliation. Rather than responding with music as he usually does, 50C employed social media trolling and mocking. By progressively increasing the volume of his tweets, he kept the feud alive in feeds and headlines throughout the month. At this time, the two musicians were still exchanging a lot of back and forth, but that changed when 50 included Tiny Harris in the conversation. After 50 Cent posted a negative photo of Tiny and a critical comment about T on Instagram on February 22nd, the argument entirely changed from being a rap rivalry to a family matter. On February 22nd, 50 escalated by uploading a photograph with OK, Little with the caption, I keep saying, keep my name out your mouth. T didn't stay silent. She replied right after in 50's comment section, and King also left a message below the post by writing, where's your mother? Even though it didn't seem like much at the time, King Harris was going to take this entire affair into his own hands. The dispute intensified as 50 Cent posted a video of T testifying about a friend's passing, called Atlanta rapper King Rat, and then shared images that directly targeted T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris. King, a 21-year-old who was desperate to prevent anyone from talking about his mother, entered the situation after 50 Cent posted pictures of his wife online, called T.I. a rat, and made it clear that he had no intention of stopping. Harris and everyone has been discussing what he did after deciding that enough was enough. In a direct-to-camera selfie video, King Harris spoke with the emerging rapper, aired an intense, profanity-filled tirade on his Instagram stories on Sunday, February 22nd. In response to the video, there were raw movements and clear passion throughout, as well as wide-eyed, steady delivery while peering into the camera. He also had a straightforward message. The 50-year-old billionaire tweeted an offensive photo of Tiny amid his escalating online feud with T.I. King was as direct as he could be in his warning to 50 Cent. Ignore his mother or face the consequences of starting a family. Incorporated into the conversation, King brought up 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, who passed away in 1983 when 50 Cent was just 8 years old. King asked the rapper from the candy store how 50 and the other trolls were brought up before telling him again to locate his mother and make his king, however, didn't stop with the video. King Harris also posted still images to his Instagram stories, one of which had a gravestone bearing the Jackson family name and a statement that said before several Instagram stories were released, 50 Cent was the target of a direct taunt. He would begin an Instagram post with a picture of 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, and the issue surrounding a tombstone carrying Jackson's name and lifetime. The mix of the rant and the somber photos was one of the most talked about events of the week. People had never seen anything like this in a hip-hop rivalry before, not in this fashion. The internet erupted as soon as King Harris's video surfaced on timelines, with opinions drastically diverging. It is rare for a deceased parent's cemetery location to be spoken so freely and directly. King Harris was promptly defended by some viewers, who said that a man will stop at nothing to protect his mother, and that 50 Cent opened the door by posting Tiny. Critics responded with equal vigor, many arguing that bringing up and harshly confronting a deceased parent regardless of what 50 posted, the cemetery site crosses an unjustifiable line. Some readers pointed out that it was specifically meant at 50 Cent. One particularly unstable choice was a man who has openly addressed the trauma of losing his mother when he was 8 years old. But in the end, the most popular replies had nothing to do with the debate. Jokes and memes about appearance had the most interaction. One comment received nearly 10,000 likes, and others did the same. What was T doing during all of this? T employed a completely different tactic. The rapper posted a video of a quiet family dinner, seemingly unaffected by the increasing chaos on social media surrounding him. Whether it was a deliberate choice or simply T letting his child handle his own business, the distinction between father and son's emotions were visible to observers. But T did not stay silent. Shortly after 50 ridiculed Tiny, T appeared to support his son in another Instagram Stories clip, adding, "You're going to win BCU." King Harris attacked 50 Cent without any filters, and the internet was excited to see what he would do next. T.I. was publicly supporting his child because he was a good man, a good parent, and a good person. In fact, 50 Cent shared several more pictures of the trap on Instagram. T.I. and 50 Cent are actively pursuing each other on social media, and there are no signs that their rivalry will cease anytime soon. 50 Cent did respond, but it wasn't what King might have expected. Pioneer and his family were promoting his executive production of August Wilson's Joe Turner's Come and Gone on Broadway in 2026. He stated, "No rappers, no bad," as the caption for the opening night photo on April 25th. King Harris was not mentioned explicitly in 50, but it was difficult to overlook the references. BBLs, No Little Officer Albino with 50 Cent. He has even unearthed records from 2009. He made use of Instagram to share what looks to be an actual FBI report from 2009. The article claims that 50 Cent reportedly gave anonymous information about Loa Loy Mac Fletcher's murder probe. According to reports, he told authorities that he was worried about his safety and that James Henchman Roseman had given the go-ahead to kill Lode Mac. Jimmy Henchman is currently receiving a life sentence for these and other offenses. The documents dated October 12, 2009 appear to be an FBI interview report in the agents claimed that Jackson admitted to giving detectives an anonymous tip about Fletcher's death. The report claims that Jackson informed authorities he was afraid for his safety and accused James Jimmy Henchman Roseman. The caption for King was pointed. He claimed that this was his reaction to anyone who had ever called his father a rat. King's caption read, "I got 21 questions, but just answer this one. Who was Lode Mac? You all know who he was. When he died, Freaky Cent started to fear for his life. In any case, it's up there. Is this the same individual that referred to my dad as a rat? Black and white? All right, this is yours, sir." Representatives for 50 Cent did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The FBI and federal prosecutors declined to comment on the accuracy of the files that are posted on social media. The idea of King Harris going up against 50 Cent was now more than just a conversation on social media. He was removing receipts. He was pulling out documents. He was writing music. Additionally, he was saying that this was not the end. After that, the 50 Cent son King Harris issue continued. King Harris, T.I.'s son, and Tama Tiny Harris attacked the Gunnet founder in a series of vicious messages on Instagram. He tweeted, "You think you're raising a man having him sit in your lap as a teenager? That's a hoe, sir." Along with a photo of 50 Cent with his younger kid. It is not AI to incorporate this. The article includes Wankster, one of 50 Cent's early hits. In an Instagram Stories post, King went one step farther. tagging 50 Cent and criticizing him for getting what he called the same attention. When he first became well-known, he was __. King also unveiled images that have existed for a very long period. The 21-year-old has been mocking the business owner on social media in recent days, and he isn't holding back at all. He even recently shared some old photos on Instagram of 50 Cent, clutching a number of adult toys at the French radio station Skyrock. Harris was seen promoting the song on Instagram while wearing a t-shirt with what appears to be a photo of 50 Cent's late mother. Rick Ross swiftly responded to Harris's statement. Over the years, Ross has openly spoken his thoughts about the Gunnet creator. In the middle of King Harris and T.I.'s confrontation with 50 Cent, now Rick Ross was involved as well. A rising beef was present. Everyone was taken aback by 50 Cent's subsequent action. 50C has eliminated the public back and forth appears to have stopped, according to an Instagram post about his recent online altercation with T. The decision was made after days of deliberations during which both T and his son King Harris addressed 50's earlier comments. Even after 50 Cent removed his page, King Harris continued to talk about the issue. Since then, every Instagram post pertaining to the feud, including the photo of 50, has quietly vanished. But T.I. was not going to disregard that. 50 Cent, who was probably kidding, responded, "Id gaff what you erased. You keep posting, it's problems." T.I. explained that removing receipts won't solve the static, telling fans that he expects a boring news day despite his continuous back and forth with T.I. and King Harris. T continued his 50 Focus campaign on Wednesday by releasing new music ahead of his Kill the King album. Now, even though this was all, there was more going on than just the deleted posts, the photos of adult toys, the documents that were released, the memes, and the diss tracks. People's minds were beginning to formulate a question. How far was King Harris really willing to go? Was everything done online, or was there more to this? The title of this video guarantees that when King Harris arrived to 50 Cent's estate, a security camera caught something. Furthermore, here is where we need to look at what actually happened during this entire conflict. Versus consequences, the small photo, the video outburst, the diss song, the FBI documents made public, the images, the deleted posts, and the fight between King Harris and 50 Cent has exclusively utilized digital technology. It has occurred on Instagram. Social media stories have portrayed it. A song has been written about it. But the idea that security camera footage from King Harris's visit to 50 Cent's home needs to be investigated. We can confirm that 50 Cent still finds King Harris to be an annoyance. Because of leaping in a dispute with his father, T, he has supported his father with his own diss track and an allegedly authentic document that depicts 50 as a spy. But since entering the conflict earlier this week, Harris has done a number of things. Additionally, we can confirm that King Harris has advanced this fight into an area that will be challenging to reclaim. King's video has not received an official response from 50 Cent. However, the internet is closely monitoring the situation, and the consensus on social media is that a response will occur. One of the harshest and most uncompromising social media personalities is 50 Cent, who has never before put up with T.I.'s son openly challenging him. No confirmed confirmation is available. Any security camera on the 50 Cent property may have recorded King Harris. King Harris's in-person visit to the 50 Cent's residence has not been verified by any news organization or media outlet. What has been popular during the last week on the internet is a social media dispute that has grown more complex, intense, and intimate than anybody could have predicted when T.I. first brought up the Versus in a podcast. King Harris's act of hoisting up is symbolic. He went up to 50 Cent's social media. He highlighted the notoriety of 50 Cent. He investigated 50 Cent's past, as well as the footage from security cameras that has been shared. That's the internet has managed to save the screenshots, screen recordings, and archived posts even after 50 Cent deleted everything from his profile. Consequently, the visit to the mansion is not what really happened, but what did happen may be more significant since it shows that the 21-year-old is up against a man who has been considered one of hip-hop's top trolls for the past 20 years. The fact that King Harris forced 50 Cent to take down his posts is also significant. After spending a few days at 50 Cent with anything from grave photos, King Harris used memes, diss recordings, and FBI documents to create something surprising. He apologized to 50 Cent's son instead of 50 Cent. Rapper and T.I.'s son King Harris voiced his opinions during his ongoing feud with mogul 50 Cent, allowing the eldest son of Maris Jackson, 50, to speak. On Thursday, February 26th, King posted a direct message on Instagram stories to Mars, who has also had issues with 50 Cent, after days of escalating animosity between their teams. King began by saying, "Suck Marquis. What I said was out of emotion and ain't have to be said, you got none to do with it." Next to, "As a man, I was wrong. Let's chop it up." Add a crown emoji to express gratitude. "As a man, I was wrong." Stands out in a society where conceit often breeds long-lasting hostility. This is significant because it shows that King Harris realized he had gone too far in at least one aspect of the beef. Not the part where he released a diss track, not the part where he stood up for his mother, not the part where he leaked the FBI data, but the part where he brought up 50 Cent's mother's passing and so saddened those who has nothing to do with the conflict. He admitted that his words were passionate, needless, and had nothing to do with Maris. For backstory, Maris Jackson is one of 50 Cent's two sons, Marez and Sia. Furthermore, there has long been a hostile public connection between 50 Cent and Marez. King's choice to contact Mars was therefore complex. It was an expression of both regret and a potential collaboration. It was both accountability and strategy. 50 was particularly asked to dig up his late mother's tomb in King's original CD. King was a common response to the line, "Crossed," and by getting in touch with Mars and owning up to his mistake, King showed that he was at least aware of where that limit was, even if it took a few days. Meanwhile, the conflict between 50 Cent and T.I. continues. The struggle between a planned Verzu battle caused the two rappers to argue. Since then, it has evolved through interviews, diss recordings, and social media posts. King's involvement has added a generational element to the problem. Disagreement. It was once a competition between two famous musicians, but now it's a public quarrel including their children. Because of King Harris's involvement, the battle now includes a generational element that neither T.I. 50 Cent is not in total control. The 21-year-old King was raised in the spotlight and is clearly ready to go places in public that his father hasn't. Whether T.I. lets him ride or restrains him is one of the more interesting subplots. The situation is still changing. Things swiftly collapsed after that. Social media posts were made, disc recordings were made available, old rivalries resurfaced, and the back and forth moved from music to family members and personal history when traveling. One of the first real rap feuds of the year has emerged from what may have been speculation, and it's clear that this is more than just entertainment. As of yet, 50 Cent has not made a new public claim. He took down his posts. He chuckled that his feelings had been hurt, and he has continued to promote his Broadway show and other business ventures as if nothing had happened. But the internet remember that there are FBI recordings, screenshots, diss tracks, and an apology to Marez. It's still unclear what will happen next, because the last week has shown us this. Beef is more than just 50 Cent and T.I. these days. The topic is fathers and sons. It has to do with public boundary violations. It investigates what happens when a generation that was raised on social media gets into a fight with their parents. King Harris arrived at everything else. Even though he didn't personally visit 50 Cent's home, he questioned the status of 50 Cent. He doubted his street reputation. He wondered about his ethics. Furthermore, 50 Cent, who has publicly argued with Ja Rule, Rick Ross, Floyd Mayweather, and many others, deleted his posts after this encounter with a 21-year-old. That sheds some light on this beef's current situation. Since these disagreements have previously escalated in unpleasant ways, comments on a number of platforms have noted that this hip-hop conflict has advanced past the point at which either side can easily de-escalate. Without appearing stupid, the Versus battle that started this conversation now seems like a distant memory. Whether King Harris and 50 Cent finally meet in person, whether 50 Cent responds with a song or more trolling, and whether T.I.'s constant diss track, whether the effort will produce anything better, is still up in the air. As of right now, we know this. One of the most powerful hip-hop celebrities was successfully defended by a 21-year-old who entered his father's feud. He went too far in several areas. Every second of his admission of it was watched by the internet. Not on a security camera, but on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and every other monitored screen. That is the story. It's also not yet complete.